Hello scale model collectors. Gonna mix up the gearing today. We're talking about airplanes now. Before I started collecting 1/64 scale cars, I was collecting airplanes. But I left that community maybe 2 years ago because I pretty much got all the castings I wanted. But it's been 2 years and some new stuff has come out, and here we are. So I was perusing one of my old, diecast airplane shops, and I saw these there, and they just looked really nice. Things like this didn't exist 2 years ago. So advancements in hobbies. What's odd is the internet is listing this tractor is made by a brand called JC Wings, JCW, but there is absolutely no indication on this box that it is made by JCW or JC Wings. It's a totally anonymous package. So very strange. It leads me to believe it's unlicensed, but as long as the model looks nice, I'm afraid I'm gonna buy it. Okay, so this is a Komatsu tractor, which is extremely difficult to find information on. But I did find out eventually what a WT250E is, and it's a, sorry, I'm gonna get a ruler. So the 250 means it's capable of moving around 25,000 kilograms of weight, or around 25, it's over 25 tons of weight. And then this was powered by a 6-cylinder engine, I believe, about 7 liters in size. And then these things are only capable of going around 30 kilometers an hour or 20 miles per hour. And they have a 4-speed transmission. And let's see, that 7-liter engine is only making 220 horsepower. But oddly, the Komatsu catalog doesn't state any sort of torque rating, which is what I assume this thing is all about, torque instead of speed. Alright, so let's see, this is almost like a 1/64 scale display box. I don't know if it'll stack up. I'll bring it a different car box out later. So it's nice that there's, well, it's kind of a loose, well, it's not super loose, but it's loose, this cover. We have some accessories in here. We'll get to those. It's not exactly like, it's quite unlike a car case though. It's got these faceted edges, they're chamfered. And then the space is kind of neat. It's got, printing as if it was pulling a large commercial airplane. These marks indicate where the tractor should, stop in relation to the landing gear of these airplanes. Boeing 737, Airbus 320, Airbus 321, Boeing 747, blah blah blah. Okay. So there's a screw there holding this on. I don't know if this thing is just glued in, this graphic, or it's literally, I think, maybe paper or decal printed on top. I think it's actually printed on top of this clear base, this graphic. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm not going to take it off the base because, well, maybe I will, because I kind of want to show it next to some airplanes. Alright, let's see what will happen here. Hopefully I won't break it. Hopefully even if I drop it, it's so small, maybe it's so light that it won't actually break anything, because I don't think it's made of metal. I think it's made of plastic. So the base itself has a little molded in standoff. Oh no, it's not molded in, it's just a plastic washer to properly space it off, which makes me wonder if the tires are made of rubber. But we'll get to that, let's find out. So 1/200, pretty small obviously. Oh, you know what? This is metal. Yeah, I can feel the weight of it. It's quite surprising. I would have guessed it would be made of plastic. Okay, so this is an ANA livery. That's a Japanese airline for those that don't know. And so far so good. Here's the rear view. Boy, let me carefully spin this around. The smaller a model is, the easier it is to drop. If you watch my Chorokyu videos, I drop those all the time. Okay, look at that. Here's one last front view. And this thing is small. Okay. Well, let's get a closer look here. Try to not drop it though. So what's cool is there's actually a character driving this thing. So that's a human being, to give you a sense of scale. This is a very large tractor, as you may have seen in the second photograph. You know, that's the nose of a commercial airplane, which commercial airplanes are huge. Boy, let me get a dental pick here. I want to see if the tire spins. I do think this, well, yeah, this is totally unexpected. Let me focus again, but I think this thing is capable of rolling. Well, the rear wheel rolls, the front not so much. So that's quite interesting. That's unexpected. Okay. So the printing. It looks like the body of this casting is pretty much smooth, and then they printed on the panel cuts and the details. Only the actual footsteps here look like they're casted in depressions. Right here, that's a depression, but the rest of this I think is just smooth. It's kind of a matte finish, or like a satin finish. It's not glossy white, I don't think. But these prints, I'm 4 times magnified. I'm trying to figure out if that's a Tampo print or if the whole side is a decal. I don't see any shininess really, like in between the letters or in between the black panel lines. So I think that's all Tampo printed, which is really nice. You know, it's not going to peel off. Okay. It looks like the tire and wheel are the same piece, and like they printed on the center, so it looks like the center of this wheel is not centered properly, whereas it's much better on the front wheel. You'll see here, yeah, this is definitely a Tampo print. You can see it's actually warped a little bit, but they got a little Tampo in here as well. So this thing's got some mirrors. These must be photo-etched metal, because look how thin the stock is. But what's crazy is they actually painted the mirror section silver. And so, alright. So the canopy is clear plastic because the white is not the same white as the casting. You know, it's hard to have the white match up. Or, yeah, I think it's supposed to be white. It looks kind of like an off gray, but looking at the photographs, it's all supposed to be the same color white. So I think what's happening is the light is getting into the clear plastic, and it's not, you know, basically there isn't enough white to cover up and make it truly opaque. Alright. But anyway, it's really neat. You know, there's actually a dude driving this thing. Alright, so now there's like Tampo printed engine cover details. There's the model of the tractor. Some step grips here. And then going to the front. Yeah, you got some wiper blades printed on. The headlights are printed silver and black. Panel details again, and then the actual toe. Oh, this is rubbery. Interesting. Interesting. This is all new to me. Like I said, ground support equipment, or GSE as it's called in the airplane industry, they just weren't this nice 2 years ago. I'll show you one in comparison by the same brand. It looks like there's even like a dashboard. There's a steering wheel there. You know, the guy's hand is almost touching it. Alright, going around to the back here, we got some tail lights and electrical connection, I'm guessing, some door hinges, turn signals, and then this thing again, this is rubbery. Alright, so some vent details, grill details up here. Alright, and then the little orange safety blinker there, ANA Komatsu. So it's quite impressive. I mean, look at my fingers. And then, you know, boy, you can see all the paint. I was painting a different model earlier today. So very, very impressive. Okay, let's, boy, let me back out. It's crazy. Let me get this little bag of stuff open and let's see what's in here. So it looks like a yellow tow bar. Boy, I'm going to lose these things. I know it. Look at these little red safety cones. Oh my goodness. Alright, I literally am gonna have to get some tweezers because there's a pin here. There's 2 pins to attach the tow bar. And so yeah. Oh wow. Alright. Hold on. Okay, so there's a photo etched metal ladder here. This is so crazy small, but yeah, there's a step ladder. So I guess you could, just let that rest on the vehicle here or something like that. Yeah, then 2 tiny safety cones. So very helpful for dioramas. I'm gonna just like let them rest in the groove there. And then this is the key thing here. So we have the tow bar with the hole here to go into the tractor side, and then a hook section to go underneath an airplane's, landing carriage. This is some sort of hydraulic lever, I'm assuming, to, raise and lower the thing. And then we have a, I'm gonna assume this is a metal pin. Oh boy, it's so small. Yeah, it sounds like metal as I drop it. The challenge is, can I get this through these 2 holes? I'm gonna have to come back. This is way too small. Alright, well, it took a little effort with some really fine tweezers, these, but keep in mind, these have metal tips, so very often the stainless steel bolt would go flying off. So you probably want to do this like inside of a plastic box, or the stuff is, this little pin is just going to fly off and you're going to lose it. Anyways, I found it was easier to get the thing into the back than the front. And this thing is actually made of die-cast metal, this yellow tow hook. So I filed away part of it, so it made the holes line up a little bit better in the rear. I ended up using some poster board putty to just mount the cones on the back, and I put the ladder in that groove. I just folded it further, and there's some poster putty holding it in place. So what we have here is this airplane. It's an Antonov AN-12, and this is made by a brand called Herpa, as it says on the bottom right there. This is actually an all-plastic model. It's very rare, but sometimes you'll get these in plastic. Most of the airplanes and collectible airplanes are die-cast metal, but I actually appreciate plastic models because they don't break as easily when you drop them, or even shipping damage, which I'll show a different model of in a different video. Okay, so yeah, you can see it. That hook thing actually works. It's grabbing that axle, and it's capable of looking realistic. So, all right, so this is too big to put on a turntable. I just want to show, that it can actually go with a 1/200 scale airplane. I'm gonna get this on a turntable and show some other vehicles. Okay. All right, so I know a lot of you guys aren't really familiar with this scale, so I'm going to show some car type vehicles. So this is a airport bus. I don't remember who made it. I think it's Herpa as well. And oddly, it's laser cut acrylic, and they printed on it and then added some mirrors. But it's quite effective in how it works. So if you've ever been to an airport, there's a good chance you've been in one of those big buses, and that is one of those. Maybe something else you can relate to would be a large truck. This is a 10,000 gallon fuel truck, I believe. And this one is made by Gulliver 200. And, well, let's get these trucks out because they're not really what we're comparing to. I mentioned earlier that tractor by JC Wings. This is what the last, tractor I got from JC Wings like over 2 years ago. It came as part of a set. And it's okay, it still has a clear canopy, some printed on details, but what it's lacking is, the photo etched metal pieces and an actual driver. So I think those are the advancements that have occurred over the past 2 years. This one is plastic, so, but I'm okay with it. like I said, as part of a set, and that whole set costs less than this one model here. So JC Wings for either of these. So you want to look up JC Wings or JCW, GSC, or Airport Tractor or Tug. There are a couple other tugs I'm going to show. These are by TSM Model, and you might know them from Mini GT fame, because TSM is the parent company that makes Mini GT 1/64 scale, cars. So that's the 3 set, and there was a set that went with the Top Gun series. It's long sold out. Okay, and then this is another tug from Gulliver. And hold on a second. This tug was a set, I think, as well. So there's actually 2 sizes of tugs. I forget what these are called. If they're Mitsubishi tractors, or they're Japanese tractors, I believe. I think these are called HOUGF tractors, and this is a fire truck. These are meant for aircraft carriers, like I said, Top Gun. But these are just, I guess, standard ground support equipment for the Japanese military, or the Japanese Air Force. Okay. Yeah, really small stuff. But at least with the human being, these humans in the tractors, you can kind of get a sense of scale. Commercial airlines, they're just huge airplanes. They're just massive compared to military airplanes. So I don't have any commercial airplanes in 1/200 scale, only military planes. Alright, so let's get this guy spinning on its own. Zoom in a little, get a little closer in there. Alright, well, it's definitely an improvement the last 2 years over that plastic one I showed you, but the price reflects it. You can still purchase this tractor today. I mean, I just bought it last week, so they're still available, but I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out quickly, because this is a different level of detail that I wasn't even aware existed. So if you're thinking about getting into collecting 1/200 scale airport stuff, you're going to want to buy these as soon as you can, because they're going to get sold out, and then you won't get them ever again unless, well, it's not licensed. Maybe it will come out. Who knows? I can't predict the future. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully, I introduced you to another scale. And I do have 2 other tractors from this brand. So there'll be 2 other videos to come. They're going to be bigger size tractors. And then, I'll show off a couple other planes and stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you around. Bye.